Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, thanks for this opportunity. This is the first of what I think will probably be many opportunities for oversight on what was a good bill, a good law. Dr. King, thank you again for coming in today. Oversight is so important. I just in the past couple of weeks hosted my own educational forum, had a room full of educators and administrators and parents, and getting their feedback and encouraging them to give me feedback as this is being implemented, so that we can listen to those who this impacts most, which is our children. Look forward to continue to do a series of those around my district. I want to check in on testing with you. During the era of No Child Left Behind, the federal government primarily measured school performance on student test scores. The schools with students who underperformed were thrown into the onerous one-size-fits-all school improvement system. Now, as the future of many schools began to hinge on the standardized test scores, pressure grew to pile on more tests to prepare for the big annual tests. And we practiced tests and taught to the test. And under the flawed law, high-stakes testing created an environment of anxiety, and teaching to the test became using its temporary and conditional waiver scheme to require states to tie teacher evaluations to results on those same assessments. And we know that assessments can play a positive role in identifying areas that need improvement, both in a school and a child's personal education. However, the high-stakes testing regime created under No Child Left Behind and the Department's waiver scheme left no room for state and local leaders to make those improvements and cultivate environments conducive to learning, which is what our schools should be all about. The Every Student Succeeds Act does away with the federally mandated high-stakes testing. Now, under the law, students will be assessed in the subjects of reading, math, and science. However, states, not the federal government, will determine how much those testing outcomes will weigh in the school's performance evaluation. The Every Student Succeeds Act also prohibits the Department from imposing teacher evaluation systems on states and school districts. With these changes, the law returns responsibility for accountability, school improvement, and teacher evaluation back to where it belongs, at the state and the local levels. Nat Malkus, an education fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, recently described the Every Student Succeeds Act as a, quote, significant sign of a course correction, in quotes. And when it comes to mandatory testing, saying these provisions can help schools focus on important aspects of schooling that are not reflected on standardized tests. And with these comments, it's clear Congress has taken a step in the right direction. The ESSA also respects the right of states to pass laws that would allow parents to opt their children out of assessments. The federal government should not get in the way of states and local leaders as they carefully consider the concerns that parents have voiced when it comes to testing. Now, the specific language addressing states' rights can be found in Section 1111 and reads, "Nothing in this paragraph shall be construed as preempting a state or local law regarding the decision of a parent to not have the parent's child participate in the academic assessments under this paragraph." In addition, the ESSA makes an important change to the assessment participation rate as it pertains to schools. Under No Child Left Behind, a school that failed to assess at least 95% of its students were automatically deemed failing. But under the new law, however, states have the sole responsibility of determining how the 95% participation rate factors into a school's evaluation. ESSA very clearly gives power back to the states when it comes to holding schools accountable for assessment participation and the right of parents to opt their children out of those assessments. And these provisions will allow states and school districts to better identify and support underperforming schools and provide more transparency and options for parents and their students. Dr. King, how will you ensure that the implementation of ESSA protects the authority of states to make these decisions without federal interference?
Thanks for the question. So one of the things that I think is an important step forward of the Every Student Succeeds Act is, as you say, the opportunity to broaden the definition of educational excellence. I lived under No Child Left Behind as a teacher, as a principal, as a leader of schools, and as a state chief, and understand that one of the weaknesses of No Child Left Behind was a narrowing of how we think about educational excellence. I think the flexibility that states have to design their accountability systems gives them room to ask, how are students doing in science and social studies? Are students getting access to art and music? Are students getting access to advanced coursework? Are schools helping students to develop socio-emotional skills? Are schools helping prepare students to participate in civic discourse? Are schools paying attention when kids are chronically absent and intervening to make sure that kids are in school so that we can ensure that they stay in school through to high school graduation? So I think there's tremendous opportunity here. Our role at the department will be to create helpful parameters and to provide technical assistance. But I think as you will hear from state chiefs who are part of the oversight process, I think state chiefs are eager to have this flexibility and to work with their stakeholders to broaden the definition of educational excellence.
The gentleman's time has expired.